All right. Well, let's jump straight into it. We'll start with the 101 of the draft class last year, which is none other than Caleb Williams, who goes to the Chicago Bears. Want to pull up his stats real quick here, kind of show you what's happened so far for the season. We're looking at 2,600 passing yards with 14 TDs, 5 interceptions on the year, so protecting the ball okay. Obviously, we want to see the Bears score some more points going forward because that's kind of been the struggle, and the losses have not been there on the year. But, Coach, you're the Bears fan. Kind of tell us how you feel about this first year.
And I'll tell you, as a whole, I feel pretty good about Caleb Williams. Obviously, he's had to deal with a lot of turmoil when it comes to not just the head coaching issues, but the offensive coordinator problems. Combined with, he's obviously had plenty of offensive line issues, especially earlier in the season. Some of that has gotten better throughout the year. But as a whole, I feel like Caleb Williams has really progressed. It was a bit of a roller coaster early on, but the last few weeks in particular, he has looked really well. I mean, he's on pace for 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He set a rookie record for the most passes thrown without an interception. Now he's thrown 232 without an interception. So that part has been really, really impressive. He's done a good job of taking care of the ball, giving us a chance to win. I mean, as a Bears fan, I feel really good moving forward with Caleb Williams moving into next season, especially.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hope. It's going to be nice to see who might step into this offense. I know we all expect kind of a new coach. Coach likes to talk about Ben Johnson, and maybe that's going to be a good marriage for Caleb Williams, and we can kind of see what can happen there. But, I mean, there's certainly playmakers for him to work with. I mean, we'd hope for Rome to get a little bit more involved, and, I don't want to spend too much time on the others around him because we're focusing on Caleb here. But, we're just a few months out, Coach, from when we were taking him at the 101 in rookie drafts. Do you still think that would be the 101 today if we were redrafting?
I mean, obviously, I think Jaden Daniels has played really well. I mean, so there would be some debate there, but I mean, there was always that debate. So, I mean, as a whole, I'm pleased as a Bears fan even that we have Caleb Williams. Right now, I see his ceiling is really high. There's a lot of room to grow still too. On top of that, I do think the Bears have to shore up that offensive line moving forward to help him continue to improve and be more successful. But I do see a guy who has gained more control of the offense. He has looked better since Thomas Brown took over as the offensive coordinator. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of room for him to grow. But, I mean, he does make some magical plays at times, no doubt. And he has a big arm. He's shown that he can make any throw on the football field. I just think as a whole, I'm pleased. And if you drafted Caleb Williams early on, which obviously a lot of people did in Dynasty, they should feel pretty good about it. I'm sure at times earlier in the year they were worried, but now as the year has progressed, you look forward and project over the next 5 to 7 years. You think, well, hey, I've got something here.
Yeah. And I mean, looking on the season, he's quarterback 15. I do think that, like you said, he's showing hope where he can kind of step in and make those plays because it's definitely there. Although he's getting sacked at times, a lot of times he's running for his life. And if he can just get a little bit of time, he can make some magic happen because the arm is there. I mean, we've seen several throws, especially that one down the sideline with Swift on the wheel route. Like that was a magical throw. Big time play he made. So I think it's there. Let's just give him some time. Coach, I want to ask you the question now. If he's over on Keep Trade Cut, he's quarterback 10. Is that about where you'd have him? I mean, the names around him are C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Drake May, and Bo Nix. Is that a little bit too high or too low for you?
No, I mean, I feel that's pretty good. I mean, he's played well. I mean, there's a lot of room to grow. I mean, you can make an argument between all of those guys one way or the other. But just the fact that as a whole he fits in there, that's kind of where I think he is at. But it's all going to come down to what happens with the coaching situation and the offensive line. That marriage between play caller and quarterback is really important. So all that's going to play a huge role, in Caleb Williams' career moving forward. Like we'll talk about Bo Nix in another video. But for instance, Bo Nix and Sean Payton has been sort of a magical connection. So if Caleb Williams can get some of that, that connection with a new play caller, that'll be a big step in the right direction for him.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. If he can get someone that's going to be able to finalize this offense, kind of make it a marriage between the two, with play calling, I think the sky's the limit. I want to ask you, Coach, as far as it goes for his value in Dynasty, if you were going to trade him for just picks, what are you looking for? Are we still looking for a pretty good haul of 2 to 3 first? I'm not saying you can get that easily, but I think that's the value I would want.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Especially considering where you drafted him at. Like, I'm gonna have to get a huge haul to give up on him right now. I mean, that's where we're at right now. It's going to be a huge haul. I mean, he's proven he can be successful. He's proven he can play. Like, you could possibly have yourself a quarterback for the next 10 years that you don't just a plug and play quarterback. So yeah, I'm gonna have to have a whole lot for that guy.
Yeah, I think he's a big time playmaker that you're going to have to pay up to go get. So I'll leave it with
Mhm.
this, Coach. If you are on a contending team and you need a quarterback, are you buying him? Is that someone you think can help you make a playoff run?
Probably not. I'm not going out of my way to buy him right now for the rest of the season. Like, I do think he's playing well, but I think there are other options you could go buy for cheaper that could help you and will play just as well down the stretch.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably in the same boat. If I can get him on the cheap, maybe someone's looking to move and I have the flexibility. Obviously, I'd take a guy like Caleb Williams on my team, but if I'm contending and I need a quarterback, I don't think that's the route I'm gonna